Hello children, in our previous virtual class we have learned about magnetic force on a current carrying conductor. Let us today start motion in a magnetic field and then motion in combined electric and magnetic field. That is a term velocity selector. So first motion in a magnetic field. We have learned that the magnetic force F magnetic equal to QV cross B, and this is equal to QVV sine theta n cap, and its direction, the direction of force is perpendicular to the plane formed by velocity and magnetic field. Case first, magnetic force is perpendicular to the velocity of the particle. Let us say here a charged particle moving in a magnetic field. The magnetic field is into the plane, so its velocity is always perpendicular to the magnetic field. Then what happens? First, work done by this force. If we use that, if we find the direction of magnetic force is perpendicular to B as well as V. So here only one option is, if we see at any point velocity is along tangential, then force will be perpendicular. If we use the left hand rule, that is the father, mother, child or EMF, that force also perpendicular to this one. So work done by this force is zero. Now from work energy theorem, work is change in kinetic energy, and here work is zero, so change in kinetic energy is zero. So what we can say, the magnitude of velocity is not changing, but direction is changing. So direction of momentum is changing. This perpendicular force, that is QV cross B, acts as centripetal force and produces a circular motion perpendicular to the magnetic field. And we can say the particle will describe a circle if velocity and B are perpendicular. One result, if a charged particle is moving in a magnetic field perpendicular to it, then that will describe a circle. Next is, if the velocity has a component along B. Here see, we have taken V is magnetic field is along the positive x-axis, and V velocity of the particle is not perpendicular here at some angle. Then this V can be resolved into two components. One is along the direction of B, that is here V parallel, and another is perpendicular to the B. Earlier we have discussed, if a particle is moving along the direction of B, then what will be the force? That is QVB sine theta, and here sine theta is 0. So no force acts. Means the particle will move with the same velocity. So the component of velocity along B, that is V parallel, will remain unchanged. So here the force will be 0. But due to the perpendicular component, earlier we have described just now that particle will describe a circle. So here the particle will undergo the two motion. One is along the direction of B as well as circle. Such a motion is called helical motion. Here you can see the particle is moving along the x-axis but not straight, that is in the form of a spring. Such motion is called helical motion. Now here, if this helical motion radius is r, then to keep a body on a circular path, a centripetal force needed. And we are knowing centripetal force is mv square by r. Here, remember the v is the perpendicular component of the v. This centripetal force, who provides here necessary centripetal force to keep a body on the circular track? Obviously here that is the magnetic force. So what we can say, mv square by r is equal to qvb. Here v means the perpendicular component, or from here r equal to, it will be mv perpendicular by qb, and the perpendicular component is mv sine v sine theta, so r equal to mv sine theta by q. Now the time period. If r is the radius of this circular path, then time period equal to 2 pi r by v. So if we substitute the value, we will get time period equal to 2 pi m by qb. Here see the time period doesn't depend on r as well as v. It depends on mass and the q. So m by q we can see. And the frequency that will be 1 by t. So it will be qb by 2 pi. Also the angular frequency omega equal to 2 pi by t. So it will be q by m, which is independent of velocity of energy. Later on we will see its application in cyclotron. Now pitch. The distance travelled by the particle in one complete rotation. So how much distance travelled along the x-axis in one rotation? Obviously we can say this to this distance is the pitch, or this to this distance. So along x-axis, velocity is v parallel and the time period is t. So pitch equal to v parallel into t, or it is v cos theta into the value of time period is 2 pi m by qb. So pitch equal to v cos theta into 2 pi m by qb. Now velocity selector. Let us say that the Lorentz force for a charge moving q with velocity v in presence of both magnetic and electric field, that will be total force will be sum of the electric force and the magnetic force. The electric force, here we have taken motion is along x-axis, electric field is along y-axis, and magnetic field is along z-axis. So the electric force on the charged particle will be along the direction of E, so that is along y-axis, and the magnetic force will be perpendicular to both, that is perpendicular to, we can say, V cross B. So if we use here V cross B, then this will be the direction of the force. Now a simple case, as here, say the velocity V we can write Vi cap, electric field we can write Ez cap, and magnetic field Bk cap. So what will be the electric force? F equal to QE, and Q is J cap. Now the magnetic force is QV cross B. So Q VI cap cross BK cap, and I cross K, it will be minus J. So magnetic force will be QVB minus J. Hence what will be the force? Force equal to Q E minus VB J cap. Means QE is the magnitude of electric force and QVB is the magnitude of magnetic force. We can write electric force minus magnetic force J cap. Now if we consider this, if we select the value of E and B in such a way that the electric force and magnetic force are equal, then what will be? Then the total force on the particle will be zero. If the total force is zero, then the particle will move uniformly or without any deviation, undeflected. This condition is called velocity selector. So what is the condition for velocity selector? That is Q E equal to QVB in that case, or V equal to E by B. This is the condition for velocity selector. Now here just two questions are given. So first once again recap all the formula and try to solve these two questions. Thank you.